Well, it's a beautiful spring day here in Tennessee, and we've got a mess on our hands. I'm down here at the pond and our little drainage area, which is a little spring that comes out of the valley here. But we catch, if you can tell, I mean up behind the dirt pile, we catch all the runoff water from all that up in there. So there's a lot of water that comes through here. In the summertime, when it dries up, this will reduce down to just a constant trickle of water. But I had some wet spots out in here that I didn't know where the water was coming out of the ground or what the deal was. So I put a 2 4-inch perforated pipe in the ground and essentially built a French drain. That way any groundwater that was here, I put it in the lowest little part of this valley so it would catch that water and drain it down into the creek, and that way this wouldn't stay muddy. But if you saw a few videos ago, we had an absolute flood, and I mean, I'm talking this whole valley was full of water. So I mean, I can put a 36-inch tile down through there and probably hold most of it. But that 36-inch tile right now is running $800–900 a joint, and I'd need 9 joints, and I'm just not spending that much money. So I want to keep this so in the summertime dry. I want to keep it to where I can sow this in grass, build this up, and be able to mow it without being in the water. So I'm going to put a 12-inch culvert, and that's more money than I wanted to spend on it, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to take, if you can see the end of my French drain, I've got the 2, and I've got the little trash racks on the top, which they clog up and get water or leaves all over them, they plug up. So I'm going to fill this up with rock over that. But I had a little temporary dam built here to collect it, and then the drain, the French drain, could collect it, and then if it rose above that, then it could spill over. So I'm going to rock over this, so hopefully we can keep those leaves off of it. But I'm going to run a 12-inch tile right down here beside it with a standpipe, and then I'm going to build me a dam here to where I can collect it, and hopefully this kind of water flow, that 12-inch tile will carry it and take it in the pond, and I can cover it up and keep it dry most of the time. I'm going to try to get, hopefully these torrential downpours we're liable to get some more here in the next month or so, but I'm going to try to get it done, get the erosion mat put down on it, and that way if it does overcome my tile, maybe that erosion mat will carry me. As long as we don't get those floods like we got, maybe I can get away with it. When we had the big flood, it just washed this out bad and it's got my pipes all in a mess. So I'm going to try to dig this out, clean this up, get a few rock put back on this, get my fabric pulled back, and then I'm going to lay that 12-inch tile in here beside it, and then we're going to run it down there. And then once the pond goes down where it's washed all that mud out in the pond, I got to get in there and dip all that out, pull it back and transfer it back up here on the bank, and I'll use it down at the bottom to cover this up, and then bring dirt in here, fill this up, and I've got to get all these banks fixed. So the pond, I'm going to raise the pond dam or the bank out there near the overflow. So I've got to regrade around the pond, but I got to get this done so I can get some grass sowed on it, and hopefully here in a week or 2 we get some grass growing. So got a lot to do. Hopefully these next 2 days I can get it done. Okay, this is what I'm working with. I got my 2 4-inch tile down there that had been washed out. I kindly dug beside them, was able to scoop that mud out and get them back down level, threw some rock around it, got my mat put back over it, and just threw a little dirt on top of it. Well, what I'm going to try to do is I've got a 12-inch 90 that I'm going to create a standpipe with, so I'm going to stick it right in here next to my 2 4-inch pipe. And I'll get a 90 set and get one 20-foot joint laid in here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and build me back a dam, and then hopefully those 2 4-inch pipe will carry most of this water, and it'll keep that creek from me having to walk in the water all day. So let's see if that'll work. I'm not so concerned about water, you know, on the dam for digging cores, because I've got a French drain going through there anyway. I want that groundwater to get in those rock and those 2 4-inch tile and carry it through there. I'm putting the 12-inch in for emergency reasons. So let's see if we can get 20 foot put in here and get this thing started. It's usually a good idea to hook these up, make sure those attach to your ball. That would have been interesting if I'd have forgot that. Went down there and raised that dump up to dump something out. Here, that trailer would have come flying off and it would have got interesting. Well, we're secured now. Well, folks, I'm officially not having fun. All right, it's not exactly been fun so far dealing with this water. It just makes for a mess. And if you see earlier, I took a little dip in the muddy water. But I got my first tile in. I've got my 90 screwed on with 2 screws just to hold it in place. I've got to straighten it up. But what I've done is I went ahead and started building me a little dam here. I've got to move some more dirt over here and build this on up. But right now, my little French drain, my 2 little 4-inch pipes are carrying the water. So hopefully they'll maintain it until I can get the rest of this pipe in. But I've got to take this pipe. I'll have to dig on out through there and try to get that water out of the ditch. But at least when I get this built on up, hopefully I can get this put in before it overcomes these 2 4-inch pipes. So I'm going to go ahead and bring a little more dirt in here and try to build this up, and then we'll try to run some pipe down through there.